What in tarnation?
Howdy folks, this is Apple Geek, and I am coming to you from BronyCon 2017. It is almost 2 a.m. in the morning, Sunday morning. I am super tired, wired. Yes, I've had Red Bull. And yeah, I'm going to try and give this episode a watch here because people have been hyping this thing for me like crazy, saying it's a crazy, awesome, fantastic episode, another bombshell or something. If this is another bombshell thing, I mean, seriously, how many times can lightning strike during the season? I don't know. I don't know what to expect on this one. But here I am, and I figure why not do a tired reaction? That's about the way things are going here. So anyway, enough rambling. I am just going to get into this. I probably am going to be tripping all over my tongue tonight, but whatever. Should be fun. Episode 14. Don't even have a title for this one. Starting now. Hey, Twilight?
Oops. Sorry, Princess Twilight. That was meant for her.
Oh boy.
Tula-rula,
Dessert.
coconut
Free dessert.
cream. What are you doing?
That
was meant for my ex-friend. I'm not your ex-friend. You're my ex-friend.
Gonna wait for confirmation. Is that a G3 pony?
You stop. So you see, friendship isn't always easy, but there's no doubt it's worth fighting for. That sounds familiar.
Okay. I think that was Tula-Rula. It was a G3 pony we haven't seen yet in FiM. Oh, the big book again! Or, no, not the big, never mind.
That? Come on, Starlight.
Is that an old
Don't
friendship
judge a book
journal?
by its cover. This is the friendship journal my friends and I used to keep. It's filled with all the things we've learned, like friendship isn't always easy, but there's no doubt it's worth fighting for.
Uh-oh.
I'll judge a book by its cover just this once.
What? How did that turn to dust already? For as long as books seem to last in this world, that journal looks horribly mistreated. Well, then again, it did survive the destruction of the Golden Oak Library, so where are we going with this journal, though? Is this going to be a flashback episode or something? Recap stuff?
Thanks for coming, every pony. I've got a surprise for you. What is it, Twilight? Do I need to prepare myself?
Probably.
What is that thing? Why is it so smelly?
Wait a minute. Is this our old friendship journal? I haven't seen this thing in forever.
Ooh, wait. It's looking a little, overripe.
I'll say. There's a smushed apple in Applejack's lessons. Fluttershy's lessons are so small, you can barely read them.
I wanted to leave room for all of you.
Oh, Fluttershy.
I don't even know what this is.
It is called calligraphy, darling. If you're going to make words, at least make them
Calligraphy. Rarity would write that way.
Looks like you got a little aggressive with your friendship lessons, Rainbow Dash.
What can I say? When I learn something, I learn it hard. I found Pinky's page.
That's very true. That is very true.
I am surprised. That wasn't the only surprise.
Okay. So Starlight, what are you doing with that? Wait, what? What is... Okay. You've each got your own journal?
Make one for each of you.
That's amazing. A perfect copy. I learned learned the spell years ago when I needed to make copies of a certain... manifesto.
Even better than a perfect copy.
A certain time travel spell?
Forgotten all about this lesson.
Or oh no, the back to the Village of
Remember
Equality
this
thing.
one? For when I helped Daring do, never underestimate the power of friends who always got your back.
Aw, cheese sandwich! Party cannon! Ah, birthday!
After Twilight
Nice.
remembered the journal, I had so much fun reading all the stuff you've all learned, I just had to have my own copy.
And that brings me to the second part of the surprise, my idea. How would you girls feel about making our journal available for every pony? If we can get these lessons into other ponies' hooves, maybe they'll benefit from them. I think that's a
Merchandising.
idea. I'm in! Yay!
We always said we wanted to.
Sounds fabulous.
I'm awesome. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
good idea.
Yeah. Wait, we know that, Dash. Oh, I got a merchant up in Cloudsdale here, like a marketplace. This is actually a very interesting idea. They're, finally taking all these lessons that they've learned and sharing them with the rest of Equestria. This is awesome. I can't help but feel like it's gonna backfire somehow, though.
I don't want to play with you anymore.
Oh,
Why not?
they brought
You
the
love
playground
playing
equipment
with
back from
mascots.
Crusaders of the Lost Mark.
No, you do,
Thank
because you always win. Hey, girls, couldn't help it over here. You might want to take a breather. Maybe read Rainbow Dash's chapter on Rainbow Falls. It might help. Sure, Princess. Thanks, Twilight.
Aww.
The Friendship Journal's making us super popular. Oh. We were thinking of putting together a Cutie Mark summer camp. Now every pony's definitely gonna sign up for it. This is gonna be awesome.
Not exactly what she had in
Our
mind.
camp is a great idea.
Yeah, but the purpose of the journal isn't supposed to be marketing. I just hope those
Wanna
fools
bet?
actually learn something from our lessons.
They will. I'm sure ponies all across Equestria will. Whoa!
Okay.
Hello. Can I help you?
We're here all the way from Philadelphia because we got copies of your friendship journal.
Wow, how wonderful. What was
But
your favorite
they want him
friendship
signed now, don't they?
journal?
Yeah. Called it.
I guess so. So, what did you think of the lessons?
Oh, we haven't read them. These are keepsakes. We got.
I'm watching this while at a convention getting things signed.
Oh.
Wow, that was worth the trip.
I could relate.
Don't worry, Twilight. I'm sure lots of other ponies are being inspired to be better friends.
Well, I, for one, found the journal terribly illuminating.
I agree. I'm seeing sides of these ponies I didn't know were there. I only wish they'd left Rarity out. She clearly doesn't belong in that book with the rest of them.
Oh, I know.
Who does she think she is? Certainly she did a fine job setting up the Ponyville Days celebration, but does she really believe it was a success just because of her? The nerve!
Yep. We need ice cream. Stat.
Rarity!
And a fainting couch while you're at it.
Oh, poor Rarity. She overheard all the mean things those ponies were saying. She must be devastated. I'm going after her.
Go ahead. I'm gonna have a chat with these two.
Uh-oh.
Rarity, wait! Twilight, isn't it amazing? Our journals
Hi, Pinky.
are everywhere! Pinky, I've got to... Ponies keep stopping by to tell me my entries are hilarious! I even had some pony come all the way from Las Pegasus to say how much he liked my lessons! I am so glad to hear some ponies are being inspired by the journal.
Hey, look! There's Pinkie Pie, the funny one!
Giggly feedback is the best kind!
Oh boy.
Well, at least you're getting a positive reaction. I just saw Rarity, and I'm afraid this whole journal thing really upset her. Aw, that's too bad.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, that was...
They're laughing at you, not with you.
Okay, well, I Guess I'll catch you later.
Hi.
Yep. Bye, Twilight.
Yeah, that's gonna get old real fast.
Classic Pinky. Oh, she's even funnier in real life.
You know me for years.
Maybe it's time to call it a day.
I whipped out all the Twilight Sparkle lessons because they were getting in the way of the good ones. What do you mean you skipped the lessons?
I know who that voice
We've
actor is.
all had valuable experiences.
Hey, here's a great idea. Why don't you guys talk to Twilight for a while? So I can get back to things like working and napping and, well, pretty much
nap.
anything else.
Oh, we don't want to hear her boring lessons. Come on, tell us again about when you met Dowie Do.
That,
Again?
that's a
Haven't we
popular
already
one.
covered that one a couple dozen times.
We can't get enough of it.
Wait a
Come on,
minute.
you
Dash
wanna
is getting
disappoint your
tired
fans?
of talking about her adventures?
It's just that I really need to get those storm clouds back in their pens.
Oh, cool. We'll come along. You
Okay,
can tell us the
they have pens for
story
those?
there.
Okay.
Oh, what's going on now? Please, just leave me
Oh, no.
Fluttershy.
Not Fluttershy.
We want answers!
Yeah, we're entitled to know.
What is it,
About
every
what?
pony?
We want to know why Fluttershy keeps learning the same thing over and over again. Get tired of already.
Even I've learned more than she has. Why can't I be in a book?
What? Really? You attacking my friend because you want to be in a book?
It's okay. I got this, girls.
Starlight, put the pony down.
Listen up. I am more suited. And yes, it took me a while to get there. But can you honestly say that you could learn something one time and completely change who you are?
Exactly.
Wow. You're way different from the Fluttershy in the book. I don't know how I feel about that.
It feels like
Yeah.
every pony in Equestria is missing the friendship part of the friendship journals.
This is the fandom.
Rarity,
The entire
are
fandom
you
in one
alright?
episode.
What are you doing?
Yes, what are...
For what? I don't know. I'm struggling. Stress?
Okay.
When I overheard those two at the cafe, I suddenly understood why I've been getting cancellations for days.
What? Why are
Wow.
ponies canceling their
I'm awake now.
orders?
Because no pony likes me anymore. They're boycotting me.
Okay, this is Rarity's Lesson 0 moment. Sort of.
I'm sure if I go out there and talk to those ponies, they'll see that they're being unreasonable.
Oh
I need
no.
100 blankets, and I need them now. Sorry, Twilight.
For what?
Still likes me.
I don't need
What's the matter, Applejack?
I'm popular, Twilight. I'm popular, and I don't like it one bit.
Oh
You go ahead. I'll stay here.
no! What does she need the blankets for, though? Aww. Starlight's gonna be the one to fix this somehow. Hey, Grit. Oh my word. What? Tree hugging ponies? What? Wow. Cider and treats and everything. Yeah.
Applejack? Who are all these ponies?
They call themselves the Sweet Apple Admirers. They say they read my journal entries, and they felt like a part of the family.
Is that a thing?
Now they actually want to become part of the family.
Your journal entries?
Guilty.
Yeah, you know, all the stuff about how friends are like family and whatnot.
Can't you get rid of them?
Kick out my own family? Granny Smith, hang on! Let me help!
Oh, Applejack! Wow.
I wish we'd never released that journal.
There you are.
So how are we gonna turn this around?
Just left Rarity. I think she's doing better, and... Oh, boy. Window staring, huh? Was it that bad at Sweet Apple Acres?
Ooh.
It's bad everywhere. I thought I was doing something good. I thought I was helping.
What was...
How could our friendship journal have led to so much
No Rarity, please.
anti-friendship?
Oh, Twilight, it's not your fault.
Of course
Wow.
it's my fault. If I hadn't had the big idea to make copies, none of this would be happening. I'm afraid I made life awful for my friends.
I really
pictures,
think you're being
callbacks.
too hard on yourself.
Am I?
Twilight does that a lot. Oh no. Wow. Yeah.
I didn't know where else to go. I've got so much cooking and cleaning and familying to do. I ain't got time for anything else.
Oh boy.
Please aren't laughing every time you talk. Not even I want to be funny all the time. I'm telling you, my days of hilariosityness are over.
Hilariousness,
I'm
but
awesome, but I can't even go to the
It's
bathroom
Pinky.
without some pony trying to tell me how cool I am. Rarity, what are you wearing? Emotions, darling. Stress couture. If I have to defend myself,
Stress
one
couture,
more
that's a new one.
time.
wow.
Sorry, darling. Force of habit.
The amount of salt on Fluttershy's face. What?
Okay, so maybe they are having a hard time with it. That doesn't mean you did anything wrong.
Yes, I did. Releasing the journal was my idea, and it backfired in ways I could never have imagined.
You had
It's
the
not
best of
your
intentions.
fault. It's every pony else's. They're just
Yes.
focusing on the wrong things and... Wait here, I've got an idea.
I can't wait any
Okay.
longer. I've got to fix this.
Rarity, that dress, seriously?
Every pony, please stop!
I'm with the Canterlot Chronicle. Quick question. What would you say to ponies who wonder why you moved to Ponyville in the first place?
I moved here to learn about friendship. That's why the journal even exists. It took some time for me to get the hang of it, but it was each of these ponies standing next to me who taught me the lessons in those journals. Applejack, Pinkie Pie, Rainbow Dash, Rarity, and Fluttershy too. Then it was all of you. I've learned so much from...
What I mean is, some ponies would argue that it doesn't seem believable that the six of you would be friends.
Believable?
Well, sure.
Oh, here we
I read
go.
this journal cover to cover, and I have to say, your character would have been much more interesting if she'd stayed in Canterlot.
My character? We are real ponies. This journal is a record of things that actually happened to us. We made mistakes
so meta.
and we learned from them.
What about Rarity? Are we really supposed to believe she learned anything she wrote in there?
That's why you want to be Team Dash. She's the only one who didn't really need to learn anything because she was already so cool.
Twilight was better before she got wings. Fluttershy is just so painfully shy, it's hard to relate. I mean, come on.
The voices of the fandom just screaming in here.
Pinkie Pie and Applejack related or what?
Yes, we've all been wondering that.
Listen to me. Listen to me.
Thank you.
I never claimed to be perfect. My
Song.
mistakes are all written in ink. None of us claim to be perfect, and it's sad if that's what you all think. Our flaws help to make us special. They bond us and keep us strong. Our flaws are what brought us together. So stop acting like something's wrong. We're not flawless. We're a work in progress. We got dents and we've got quirks, but it's our flaws that make us work. Yeah.
Yes.
We're not flawless. We're a work in progress. So tell me what flaws you got too. 'Cause I still like what's flawed about you. They say I'm a big shot, that my ego's the size of a whale. My confidence comes off as cocky, but it gives me the courage to fail.
Sure,
Yes.
I can be a drama queen, a bit stuck up, it's true. And I can be too eager to please. There's such thing as being too honest too, 'cause
We're not flawless.
Yes.
We're a work in progress. We got dents and we've got quirks, but it's our flaws that make us work. Yeah, we're not flawless. We're a work in progress. So tell me
She's improved on that, though.
Confident to really come out of my shell. But no pony has to be perfect. By now, don't you know us so well? Because, yeah, we're not flawless. We're a work in progress. We got dents and we got quirks. But it's our flaws that make us work. Yeah, we're not flawless. We're a work in progress. So tell me what flaws you got too. Cause I still like what's flawed about you.
So you see, every pony? None of us ever claimed to be perfect. Without our flaws, there wouldn't be any friendship lessons to learn. Without our flaws, there probably wouldn't be any friendships at all.
That's deep. Yeah, they still are totally missing the point. All right, Starlet, what you got?
So that just happened.
Girls, I found two
Yep.
ponies who have something I think you should hear.
Oh, them.
We just wanted to say thank you to all of you. Yeah, our friendship? Well, we were having trouble until we read your journal. It showed us that friends can go through all sorts of
clear.
tough times and come through stronger than before. It's made us better friends than we've ever been.
Aww.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I can't tell you how much it means to hear that. Thank you for telling us. We've had a tough couple of days, but knowing we've helped fillies like you,
It makes everything we've been through worth it.
Absolutely. Fads come and go. Friendship is forever.
There are worse things than not being able to do anything without being told I'm awesome.
And we can't change the way other ponies think about us, but we can change how we let it affect us. Or how we don't let it affect us.
Exactly.
Go ahead,
Oh, doll.
Reckon we still have to deal with them, don't we?
Yeah, about that.
stay in the friendship moment, Applejack. We can wait a little longer.
Oh, so they just leave it hit. Okay. Flawless. Okay. Wow. This was for us, guys. This was for us. Or perhaps to us. I forgot to mention earlier, I was aware that M.A. Larson is at least credited with writing this episode. There was something a while back, an interview with Larson, where he said that he was credited for an upcoming episode, but he didn't have all that much to do with it or something like that. So the details on that are a little fuzzy right now. I'm not sure what's going on with that situation, but I can certainly see if he did write this, that this would be something that he would have written. But wow, I've got a lot of thoughts running through my head on this, but this definitely is going to take a few rewatches and some notes and things before I talk about it any further. So I'm not sure when I will get to this. I might wait until I get home to record my commentary. I'm not sure, but I will try and have this up for you guys as soon as I can. So stay tuned for the commentary. Thanks. All right. Well, I'm home, as you can see. It is actually now Friday, the day before the next episode coming out. I apologize very much for how long it has taken me to get this done, but this episode really, I think, has made a pretty big impact on a lot of people, myself included, and I just needed some time to really kind of think about this and absorb it and reflect on some things. I've chatted with a number of my friends about it, got some interesting perspectives and whatnot. I'll try and keep this reasonably short because I could ramble on this thing for probably well over an hour, and I'm not going to do that. Just right away, I do want to touch again on the whole thing with M.A. Larson, He's credited as writing this episode. But I double checked, and there was an interview with him that was published back on May of this year, May 8th, that where he said there's an episode coming up. He said that my name is on it, but I didn't really write it, and it wasn't my idea. I'm assuming this is that episode. So I'm not really sure what the politics were with all that behind the scenes. I'm not even going to sit here and try and speculate. It's not important. The main thing that I just want to say about this is that, controversial as this episode might be, I think it was a necessary thing. It was a great message, one that we all needed to hear. And I'd like to thank M.A. Larson for whatever involvement he did actually have in the writing of this episode. So, Friendship Journal, bringing that back, was a great idea, I think. That was one of those plot devices that was just kind of forgotten about after Season 4, it looks like. I don't honestly remember hearing or seeing it or hearing anything about it once Season 5 started. So I guess I'd never really thought about where it ended up. Did it get blown up in the Golden Oak Library when T-Rex attacked or anything? Apparently it survived that if it was there. But it's fun to just kind of, go back and remember some of the episodes from that season, because that was a very, very good season. And, it's a great idea, I think, overall for Twilight to say, hey, let's share all these, lessons we've learned with the other ponies of Equestria. Makes perfect sense, because the vast majority of these lessons are probably ones that, even though they themselves have privately, learned them, it hasn't been general public knowledge. The general populace is probably aware of all these times when they've saved the entire world from certain doom, like when T-Rex attacked and other such events, but they likely have had no knowledge of all these other little things that have come around. So it was a great idea, and really seeing that basically it's Hasbro, the show staff kind of, Hasbro, DHX, whoever, all the show staff basically talking to us and kind of venting on us a little bit throughout this episode. I feel like the journal is basically kind of an analog, an in-universe analog for FiM itself. And as such, just as the ponies of Equestria did not really get out of the journal what they should have, a lot of people in this fandom have not really gotten out of the episodes of FiM with all the lessons and everything what we should have. And I can see that as definitely a bit on the disheartening side for a lot of the staff that just pour themselves into producing this content. This show, remember, this show should have been over after Season 3. It was done. And Hasbro brought it back from the brink. For whatever reason. I don't know the exact reasoning, but they brought it back. And since then, it has gotten better and better and better. The people that have put in charge of the show just kept getting better. They got better writing, better animation, just better continuity, all around things. It's just been steadily, more or less, improving as time goes on. And we're cruising right towards Season 8, big movie, Equestria Girls spin-off show. I mean, the content just keeps coming. This is a phenomenon that is very rare that for a kids show like this. This should not have happened. And the only reason I can think of that this happened is because that Hasbro actually saw the positive impact that this show actually has been having on the fandom and the world in general. And they feel that it's worthwhile to continue this despite some of the negative aspects that have been born out of this fandom. And obviously, I'm well aware that corporate profits is a part of this entire equation. That is a given as well. But still, it's clear to me that for the amount of effort they are putting into making the show what it has become, it's not just about profits. There's more to it than that. So, and it is very difficult. I will point out too, this show is what is and always was for kids. The fact that we've got this adult fandom in this, okay, it's a great thing, and I appreciate that Hasbro has embraced that and aimed some things at us in this show. That's been great. but don't forget that this has always truly been about the kids. And on that front, I love the fact that they have that they started this episode and kind of ended it too with these two fillies, Tularilla and Coconut Cream. Interesting G3 callbacks, by the way. That it became about them. They were the ones to actually get the message out of this episode, and that's, you know, despite all the shenanigans that are going on with the adult ponies and stuff. And I think that kind of speaks to what we see in the real world too. It's like that there's fandom stuff that kind of drags some things down, but in the end, when they hear that, you know, especially kids, but even us as adults, when we are actually getting, you know, positive impact out of the show, that really is what makes things, you know, all worthwhile with this. But yeah, it's clear that they're seeing a lot of things that are points of frustration for them, for all the work that they put into this, into the show. So much of the fandom can get too caught up in things like just, you know, arguing and bickering over, you know, character flaws and storyline continuities and, you know, things like that. And just it when you spend too much time on that stuff, it's not inherently a bad thing. Okay, you can, you know, analyze stuff and discuss, you know, differing opinions and things like that. That's all very positive things. That allows everybody in the fandom to engage, get involved, you know, share opinions. I'm kind of talking around in circles here, but you know, you can do that in a respectful manner and with an open-minded approach, and it can be a very good thing. Or you can come at it from, like, my opinion is fact, hard fact, you cannot tell me any different, and if anybody disagrees with me, I'm just going to shut them down. That's the kinds of things where this starts going to a not so good a place. And I think some of those things are what they're pointing out to us here. I really don't think that the show staff are actually trying to use this episode as like a SmackDown thing. That's like, you know, hey guys, knock it off or else. I really don't think that was their intention with this. I think what they did was they just kind of poked fun a little bit at some of the rather ridiculous arguments that the fandom gets into over some things, and is trying to remind us, is like, hey guys, this stuff really doesn't matter all that much. Here's what's really important: the positive message of friendship. That's what this is really all about. That's what they're trying to convey to us. You know, yes, they're trying to teach us lessons in a very fun and entertaining manner, and for that you need a good story, and for a good story you need good characters. So all of this comes into play. It's all a giant equation. And yes, there is a lot of character flaws and a lot of continuity issues and whatever. But you know, I'm not going to sit here and analyze all these character flaws. I've been trying to do this stuff, and I'm leading into the rambling for forever on this stuff. I will just point out real quick that I was rather disturbed by the whole, you know, anti-rarity campaign thing that's going on. I know she's, you know, not a lot of people's favorites. I know there's people that just absolutely hate her, can't stand her for any reason. And I'm not about to sit here and tell those people that they aren't welcome to their own opinion, because everybody's entitled to at least their own opinion on things. But I would just ask those individuals to try and have a little bit more open mind about this and see some of the positive things that Rarity has done. Because, as I've said before, Rarity has grown a lot in my eyes. She's gained a lot of respect in my eyes for her progress throughout this show. And I said, yeah, all these characters are flawed. They are absolutely flawed. And they are supposed to be. That's real life. That is a reflection of real life, and is what this show is supposed to be. That's a big reason why this show is so relatable to everyone, because there's all these quirks of these characters and these flaws and everything. It's like we can relate to this stuff. These characters should not be perfect right out of the gate, because they just aren't. They were never written that way. To believe that they are perfect and can do no wrong, that is completely the wrong approach to come at this from. Also, we should not be expecting these characters to reach a point where they are perfect. Where it's like, okay, they've learned all the lessons and now they're perfect characters and blah, blah, blah. No. That is also not real life. We should never, ever expect any of these characters to become perfect, because that's not what happens with us. None of us are perfect. None of the show staff, the voice actors, the producers, anyone are perfect. And we're all works in progress. As the song says, we are not flawless. We're works in progress. We've got dents, we've got quirks, and it's our flaws that make us work. You know, that, as was noted in the episode, if we don't have flaws, then what's the point of having friends anyway? You know, it's having friends to help us when, you know, when we do run into problems in life and have to deal with our flaws. Our friends are there to help lift us up and help us out. That's what grows friendships and makes us stronger. So, you know, we should not expect these characters to be perfect. That will be completely unrealistic. That will make the show dull and boring, because there won't be any conflict anymore. There won't be any problems anymore. So I think it's too easy to just get too caught up with these characters and miss the point of this show. I said, yes, the characters are important, but if we focus too much on the actual characters and just, like, you know, like, I don't like this character unless they, you know, are played out exactly the way I want and whatever. No, that's missing the point entirely. And I've even heard some, just via third parties, I haven't gone out looking for, but I've heard about some people nitpicking at this episode itself, saying, like, oh, the pacing's too long, it's too rushed or whatever. And I can't help but think, yeah, you're proving the message of this episode by focusing on what's not important. Yes, we've all done things like that. I have talked about pacing of episodes and whatever. I said the analyzation stuff, you know, is an okay thing to a degree, but it should not come at the expense of not learning the lessons. So, like I said, I think it's really just, you know, the show's effort, they're wanting us to focus on the positives of this, and I think that's what our takeaway should be, is just, like, you know, just get the priorities back in order. You know, just focus less on all the nitpicky details and focus more on the friendships and relationships and the positive things that are born out of this fandom. And there has been so much positive on this. I can't even begin to describe all the stuff that I've seen. Like I said, you know, I just come back from BronyCon. They hit a record-breaking $34,000 raised for charity. I mean, that's an insane amount of money, even with attendance significantly down from previous years. They had that record-breaking number. And I said, the voice actors have been talking about how, you know, I've heard stories from them about how there are individuals that come up to them at these conventions and just, you know, share their stories about how the show has positively impacted their lives, whether it's, you know, just lessons that they have learned and apply to their own personal lives, or the friendships that they have gained from this that has helped lift them out of dark places, you know, rekindled their interest in, you know, their artwork, or, I mean, the list just goes on and on and on. And that was one of the things that attracted me to this fandom. I could not believe how positive overall that this was compared to other fandoms. I've looked at other fandoms, and it's just like, you don't have to look very far, and there's so much negativity about stuff. I'm like, why do I want to mess with that? You know, that's not being real about things. This here, I could see something special in this, and I jumped in with both feet. And looking back, I don't regret it at all. It has been a fantastic journey for me personally. I have gotten out of my shell. I'm talking to you guys, something I would never have considered doing. I have been to conventions and met tons of people. I mean, the meeting my fans at BronyCon was such a surreal experience for me. I mean, the sheer number of people that were coming up to me and just thanking me so much for these videos that I put out and the positive impact I've had on their lives. I can't even begin to process that. It blows me away. I never thought I would have the power to do anything like that in this world, guys. Just never. And I'm so happy that I've been able to positively impact somebody else for the better. It just, I'm starting to understand a little bit what some of these show staff are feeling like, or these voice actors are feeling like when people come up to them and share this with them. It's, as was mentioned in this episode, that kind of makes it all worth it, So I've just getting back on topic. They're, despite these negatives, I think the positives is very much overriding this stuff. That's why the voice actors keep coming back to conventions, and they even share with us at BronyCon here. They said there is a list of people like a mile long up in Canada, like other voice actors that are practically begging to be given a character to voice a role on this show, because they see these conventions and this fandom and they think it's so cool and so awesome. They want to be able to come and experience it, along with us and be part of this family. And so, clearly there's a lot of things going right here, and I think we'll continue to have a lot of things going right in this fandom. But so there's always this little bit of a dark side that we've got that I think we can do better on, and well, it was interesting too. The first quote from Twilight of one of the past lessons learned at the beginning of this episode is actually from season 2, not season 4. So it's a little bit strange to find that in the Friendship Journal, but it was from the end of the Return of Harmony Part 2, when the main six were about to face off against Discord to reseal him into stone. And Twilight said it was, what was the quote here? "A friendship isn't always easy, but there's no doubt it's worth fighting for." I watched a little bit of the end of that episode to get the context, to fully get the context for that. And that was a situation where Discord recognized the power of their friendship and sought to pull them apart, try to prevent them from seeing the value of their friendship. And he almost succeeded. But I think that's partly what we're dealing with here, is that the friendship is an extremely powerful thing. When we're together in harmony, we can do some awesome stuff, guys. Truly awesome stuff. But when you get these seeds of chaos planted and kind of growing amongst us, chaos can be a fun thing. A lot of people like Discord as a character. They like the whole chaos thing. It's like, yeah, what fun is there in making sense? There is a fun side to chaos, for sure. But there's that dark side, too, that we have to be very wary of. Because if we allow that to get in deep and grow, then we're going to start getting a wedge driven between some of us, and that's when things start to fall apart. So that's actually a very interesting lesson to tie back into this one here. So that this is all about the message of friendship, and we have to keep focused on that. Like I said, I've been doing a lot of reflecting on this, as I could go on and on analyzing the specific nitpicky issues in the story, but that's not important right now. I'm sure all of you will be doing that. Besides, I've been doing it with my friends, whatever, but that's not what I wanted to talk about here. I will, just as kind of an end note here, I do want to take a couple minutes just to talk about Starlight real quick, because she was a very notable presence in the story as well. I loved that she was a very good supporting character in this particular episode. She kind of took the place of Spike, who for some reason was absent. I kind of wish that would have been explained a little bit, but again, nitpicky detail, not too important. I just tend to think of it as like, oh, he finally got a few days of vacation that were well deserved, so whatever. But I loved seeing that Starlight was, she's ready and willing to come to the defense of her friends when they were being threatened. And also, she has grown to know her friends very well, too. This speaks a lot to her journey into understanding the magic of friendship. She knew that Rarity would, need needs somebody to kind of cry on her shoulder a little bit, you know, help her settle down with some things. Later when she caught up with Twilight, saw Twilight staring out the window, it's like, oh boy, you know, staring out the window, that must have been bad at Sweet Apple Acres. I mean, she knows her friends well, and it's just awesome seeing that and seeing her come to their defense right away. I think it just speaks very well to how she's grown as a character. And also, she didn't really fix things exactly, but she... How do I put this? The main six kind of lost sight of what truly was important, or that they were about to just, you know, give up on the whole thing, kind of, you know, falling into the pit of despair over all this trouble that they had caused without intending to. But Starlight went and found those little fillies to bring them back and share that it's like, hey, we did learn something from this, and, you know, we're very thankful to you because now we're better friends. And that made it all worth it. Starlight kept in mind what was truly important in all of this and did what needed to be done to help the main six see that it truly was worth it. And just the whole ending of this episode, I was really confused by the way this episode ended, because the problem wasn't resolved for once. You know, everyone was still arguing and bickering and stuff outside the castle. But, like, you know, it really makes sense, because this is a direct analog to the real world situation we have. The fandom still isn't fixed. But also, more than that, just like it really wasn't the responsibility of the main six to fix everyone else, it's not Hasbro and DHX's responsibility to fix us, fix the fandom. It is up to us to take a step back, reflect on things, get our priorities in order, and get back to focusing on what's important. Only we can do that. Nobody else can do that for us, right? So I think this was just... This episode itself was basically Hasbro doing for us what Starlight did for the main six in the episode. It's just a kind of a reminder of like, hey, you know, we recognize there's all these problems going on, but guys, you need to wake up a little bit, you know. And so there is positives that are coming out of this, and that's what you need to get back to. So I like that they left it off where it did. And I'm hoping that I'm kind of hoping they come back to this again later. I mean, like, not another whole episode on this or anything, but just the whole friendship journal thing and all the problems that it's caused. Like, I kind of hope that there might be little threads of that in future episodes where it'll come back to as convenient storytelling devices and stuff. So, because there was a lot of great lessons back in that season. I really need to go back and watch some of these older seasons again and get some reminders of some of these. So, but yeah, I think that's where I'm gonna leave things off here. So I haven't even watched any other analyses of this episode or anything. I just wanted to be alone with my own thoughts on this, aside from chatting with some of my close friends. I just really wanted to try and focus. That I've done a few other takes of this commentary already, and basically I'm throwing them all away because I found that I myself was focusing too much on the negative aspects of the fandom. I just don't want to do that. That's not the note I want to leave off on in this. This fandom is awesome. You guys are awesome. But there's always room for improvement. So let's do a little better, huh, guys? All right. That's all I got on this. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to some more reactions coming up soon. So take care.